Hey friends, welcome back to another speed build. Today I'm very excited to launch a new series. I am planning to speed build or rebuild all of the lots in The Sims 4. So yeah, it's going to be a very long project. I think there are, I don't know, like a couple hundred lots throughout all of the like 21 worlds that there are at this point. So yeah, definitely going to take a while, but I thought it would make sense to start in Willow Creek. It's kind of like, where it all began. I don't know if I'm going to go in order of when the worlds were released. Probably not, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, so I am here in the Foundry Cove area. This is the Streamlet Single lot. And my goal is to renovate existing lots and then build new ones on the empty lots. So that's what I'm doing here. This is quite a renovation. I ended up adding a second floor and expanding the. Actually, I don't know. I think the deck is actually the same size, but I'll put a deck upstairs as well later on. And I've been trying to kind of create storylines for how I want to do all of these lots. So my thought is that along with rebuilding everything, it's also going to be set like 10 years in the future, now that The Sims 4 has been out for 10 years. So I thought that would be kind of interesting to kind of see where these Sims might end up, and then also move in some new families and kind of go from there. So this lot, the sim, her name is Christy Marquez. I just made her in Create a Sim and gave her some traits. But her backstory is that she has moved to Willow Creek from her even smaller hometown, and she bought this kind of old fixer-upper house, and she has done all of the renovations herself, and she just wants to, expand her horizons, and thought this would be a good first step. So that's kind of the storyline that I'm going with for her. And yeah, so I kept it as sort of like a shotgun style house, and then added the second floor with like a lofted bedroom. So it won't be completely enclosed, and then there will be this kind of overlook from up there as well. And I thought that was kind of a cool way to do it. So the house is actually inspired by an Airbnb that I saw. I think it's like in Texas. So I'll put some photos up, but that was kind of the inspiration for the design and kind of the shape of the house, I guess. And with this series, I also want to do some more limited pack builds. On this one, I only ended up using I think maybe 3 different packs. I used a lot of Dream Home Decorator, so you'll definitely need that if you want to download this off the gallery. And then I use Seasons, especially for the doors and windows. And then there's one other one, I think maybe Tiny Living. I was hoping this would be small enough to be a tiny house, but it does go over the 100 tiles, like maximum that you can do. So unfortunately, it doesn't really fit into that. But I did use a few different items from that pack. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to figure out the floor plan right now. The first level is just the kitchen and living room, and then the bathroom off to the side there. And then upstairs will be the bedroom. And I started putting the kitchen on this side. But then I realized here in a minute that this is like where the 2-story section is. And I thought it would just look kind of odd to have cabinets there and then like nothing above it. So I ended up swapping it over closer to the front door, and I did more of a kind of a galley style, but it'll have a big island rather than like another wall. And so there won't be an actual dining room or like a dining table, but there will be a lot of bar counter seating. So I think that will work fine for this. And I think I used Eco Lifestyle as well, because I'm pretty sure that's what the floor is from. So yeah, I think the orange actually worked fairly well in here. I was a little bit worried it would be too much, but I think it pulls some of the orange accents from the counters and cabinets. So I thought that fit in fairly well. And I spent a lot of time messing around with the stairs that I cut out because it was way too long. But at one point I was going to have the stairs go kind of on the other wall over the, I don't know, that little hallway by the bathroom. and like the Sims could like get under there perfectly fine, but yeah, it wasn't really working, and I'll actually end up moving the stairs again, I think here in a minute. Yeah, so yeah, I put them there, and then I was like, that doesn't really work that well. So I'll end up moving those again later on after I do the bathroom here. And when I was taking the screenshots that'll be at the end, the BFF household had come over for the welcome wagon, which normally would have been fine, but I didn't really think about it until afterwards. But they won't look like that when I kind of redo their situation, because I don't think I'm gonna have them all still living in Willow Creek. I think I'm gonna try and move Sims around from different worlds, just kind of, tell some different storylines. So I think like Travis will maybe move to like San Myshuno, and maybe Summer Holiday will stay here. But they'll all be older and they won't really look exactly the same. So that was a little bit of an oversight, so you'll have to forgive me for that. And I was also thinking of introducing some characters from some of the other Sims games. Like I think I might have the Dreamers move to Willow Creek. They're a family from The Sims 2. And yeah, since this is kind of like an alternate timeline as well, like it doesn't really fit in necessarily with the other games, I might make some creative liberties with how the families are like set up and whatnot. Like with the Dreamers, originally the wife had died at one point. But I think maybe in this version she'll still be alive, and yeah, and have them kind of move here, and maybe the son can be like interested in Cassandra Goth. I don't know. I think there's some like really interesting storylines that can be told with kind of going this route, with it being like 10 years in the future and all of that. Because I was also thinking the Goths could maybe be running like a bed and breakfast from their house now that their children have grown up and moved out. I think that would be kind of interesting. I'd love to stay at the Goth Manor in or like a B&B. I think that'd be really fun. And I definitely want to do a mix of different lots as well. So I want to make sure that I remodel the community lots and possibly turn some community lots into like residential and some residential into community lots. I think that would be interesting to kind of show the passage of time and how things get redeveloped. So yeah, I think that'll be really interesting. You'll have to let me know if you have any ideas, if there's anything you want to see me build. Certainly open to that. There's I think there's 21 lots in Willow Creek, so definitely plenty of space to add some things. And hopefully you can't hear it, but my upstairs neighbors have been stomping around for a little while, so hopefully they stop, because I think my microphone is picking it up, which is not great. So hopefully you don't hear that. I'll try to stop if I hear them. But yeah, so here in the kitchen, like I said, I didn't have space for an actual dining table, but I think having the bar stools at the counter works pretty well. I was able to fit 4 of them in there, so pretty good size. When the welcome wagon came, pretty much everyone could sit there and eat the delicious fruitcake. So, plenty of space for that at least. And I realized later that I did not put a vent hood over the stovetop. And then I don't think I ended up putting one before I uploaded the house to the gallery. So there's a very good chance that there just isn't a vent hood there. So sorry about that. But yeah, that should be easy to switch if you care about that. But yeah, I got the chess table in here. Definitely had to make sure I got that. And yeah, I do try to get a few different activity and skill building items on the lot. I'll get an easel later on, some gardening pots, and then one of the outdoor campfires from Outdoor Retreat. So yeah, that's another pack that I use. But I think, yeah, I just use the fire pit and then some of the camping chairs from that pack. So not a lot of items if you don't have that one. But yeah. And another one of the bugs that's just really annoying is how the trim from the roof will stick through the wall just a little bit. And it only happens when you use the kind of thicker ones, I found. So I didn't really realize it until later that the thinner roof trims won't go through the wall. At least I haven't seen it do it. So yeah, I did not enjoy having that sticking through the wall like that. I wish I would have realized I could have just switched to a thinner one and it wouldn't have been showing up there. But yeah, kind of annoying. I really wish they would fix that too. But yeah, so here in the bedroom upstairs, fairly simple, but it's a pretty good size bedroom. I'll end up putting in a desk here in a second. And I ended up using the one from Dream Home Decorator that looks like it kind of has tools and stuff on it. I thought that would be kind of interesting because I imagined, you know, she's been renovating this house and, you know, maybe originally she was using that as an actual workbench for, you know, for building and everything, and then just kind of turned it into a regular desk. I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, put that in there. And I did these two smaller dressers. I was thinking like, you know, for two different people. But yeah, and I was going to put mirrors above them, but I couldn't find one that I liked. And I don't know, they were just looking a little bit odd in here. So I just went with some pictures instead. And I don't know, I liked how that turned out. And yeah, just putting in some different plants and a little, I'll put a chair in here in a second. And that'll pretty much finish up the bedroom. And I ended up moving the bedroom to the front of the house because I added this outdoor deck at the top, which, you know, is great for more living space. I did kind of like having the bedroom in the back of the house better, at least so like when you walked into the house, you know, it was a little bit more grand. It would be like all open right when you walk in and you would kind of see right up, you know, into the loft space. But, you know, this worked out better to have the patio or the deck at the front, rather than the roof piece that I was originally going to do. I think it just looked a little bit better, and obviously it's just more functional, just more space to have more items on. So yeah, that was kind of that's probably the biggest change from the inspiration house that I was going off of. And here is where I do the campfire area, and you'll see in the video that I was using terrain paint, which I think looked better. But then as I was playtesting, the sim left the lot to like go visit someone. And then when I came back and reloaded, all the terrain paint was gone. So love that bug is still in the game. Super, you know, convenient and wonderful. So in the uploaded version, it is just like actual floor tiles that I used. I just used the same ones that I used at the front by the stairs. So that was disappointing, but I didn't want to risk doing the terrain paint again and having it delete. So yeah, just ended up switching that out, but yeah. And then, yeah, just doing the landscaping, fairly simple. I didn't, you know, go too overboard, I think, on this. Tried to keep it fairly simple. And the next video I have coming out on the channel is another one from my Rebuilding The Sims 2 series. So it is a pretty good size house. It's based on 226 Strawberry Hill in River Blossom Hills from The Sims 2 Seasons. And yeah, it's a very strange house in The Sims 2, but I turned it into a much more contemporary family home. So it ends up having 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, a pool, a greenhouse, a tree house. So yeah, tons of things to do. I think I really liked how it turned out. That one was also a somewhat limited pack build, more than this house, but yeah, definitely not all of the packs. Hopefully it should be, you know, a little bit more accessible. But yeah, I think that one turned out really cool. The pool has like basically an island in the middle of it. The original version had that, so I wanted to recreate that in The Sims 4. So yeah, you'll definitely have to make sure you're subscribed, you've got your notifications on, so you can check that out when it comes out on Tuesday. And yeah, now I'm just finishing up by doing the lighting on the lot. You know, just some fairly basic lights outside. It was pretty bright out there, so I didn't do too much. And yeah, for inside, mostly just the little saucer lights. Those worked pretty well in this space. I thought that would make sense with a renovation. They'd have these newer like recessed lighting or whatever. Yeah, and then I put in this larger sort of chandelier moment over the living room, and I thought that worked out really nicely. But that is going to wrap it up for me. I just want to say thanks for taking the time to watch today. I know there's a million things you could be doing, so I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, that helps a lot, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you so much. Have a great day.